I was also stepping away a little bit and turning things over to Kathy Kennedy. And so what happened was Disney said, or Bob Iger said, gee, if you really want to sell your company, if you're thinking about selling it, because we were talking about retirement and what are you going to do after all this kind of stuff. And he said, well, if you really want to sell it, we're very interested. So that started that ball rolling. They looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans. I said, all I wanted to do was tell a story of what happened. It started here and it went there. And it's all about generations, and it's about, the issues of fathers and sons and grandfathers. And it's a family soap opera. Ultimately. We call it space opera, but people don't realize it's actually a soap opera. And it's all about family problems. It's not about spaceships. They decided they didn't want to use those stories. They decided they were going to go do their own thing. And so I decided, fine. But basically, I'm not going to try to... They weren't that keen to have me involved anyway, but at the same time I said, I'm not going to, if I get in there, I'm just going to cause trouble, because they're not going to do what I want them to do. So, and I don't have the control to do that anymore, and all I would do is muck everything up. So I said, okay, I will go my way and I'll let them go their way. And these are my kids. So
all those Star Wars films.
All the Star Wars films.
They were your kids.
Yeah, well, they are my, I loved them, I created them.
And you sold them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and...
Well, hello, kiddies. This is your friendly neighborhood watchman, here with you again to talk about Elon Musk, although it has nothing to do with X, formerly known as Twitter, nor does it have anything to do with his SpaceX program. No, this has to do with his BFF and, once again, current CEO of Disney, Bob Iger.
Hey, Bob.
As he brings a smackdown on Lucasfilm and Disney for spoiling Star Wars with woke garbage. So, without further ado, let's get into this article from the New York Post by Ariel Zilber with the headline, Elon Musk slams Lucasfilm boss for killing Star Wars with woke propaganda, more deadly than a Death Star. Oh boy. Oh, that's a pretty good imitation. I'd say so myself. Right, George? Elon Musk blasted Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy for putting the Star Wars franchise in jeopardy by pushing woke leftist propaganda in the latest spin-off, The Acolyte, which has drawn criticism over its lead characters being spawned by lesbian space witches as part of the storyline. Yep, you pick up on that in the first episode when she mentions her mother's, plural, so she got no poppy. Even in a galaxy far, far away, fuck the patriarchy. She's more deadly than a Death Star, Musk wrote in response to a post on X that pictured Kennedy as a franchise killer. Ain't that the truth? Alongside other Empire death machines. Kennedy, who has been president of Lucasfilm since Disney bought the production company, much to the chagrin, founded by Star Wars creator George Lucas in 2012, and boy has he regretted it in his heart of hearts, has defended her decision to name Leslie Headland to direct, which is currently streaming on Disney Plus, in a response to another post on X that said Kennedy hired Headland because she had struggled as showrunner due to a male-dominated fan base, of course. Is there any other kind? Musk wrote, Kathleen Kennedy is super bigoted against men. Yes, he's a misandrist. They love throwing out the other word, but you rarely hear the misandrist. Hatred of men. The post has sought comment from Kennedy. So here she is, a misandrist, just ruining Star Wars, created by a man, George Lucas, which must eat at her from the inside. From Shibitoshi Nakamoto, The Power of One, Planet Killer, Death Star, System Killer, Fleet Killer, Franchise Killer. She's more deadly than Death Star. Indeed. Lucas, who launched the famed franchise before selling his company to white slavers, I mean Disney, for $4 billion, has in large part stayed away from any involvement with any of the Star Wars spin-offs. Headland, the first woman to create a TV series for the franchise, has sought to make The Acolyte more diverse. Of course, we gotta tick off that list. Championed by Kennedy, and her sycophants check off all the boxes, but I digress. To continue, has sought to make The Acolyte more diverse by casting minority actors, including Amanda Stenberg, who identified as non-binary and gay, and Korean star Ling Jung-jae. The narrative in The Acolyte, besides white people bad and men sucks that has raised hackles, implies that powerful witches belonging to an all-female lesbian coven led by Mother Muff Diver.
You need to chill!
Led by Mother Anasea, played by actress Jolie Turner-Smith, used the Force to generate female offspring that star as a twin main character, played by Amanda Stenberg. Ugh, enough said. Lisa Hanlon, the writer and director of The Acolyte. Kennedy backed Hedlund, telling the New York Times, of course, "My belief is that storytelling does not need to be representative of all people, especially white."
He ain't lying.
She said that supporting Hedlund was an easy decision for me, being a misandrist, after all. Kennedy said it was terrifying to receive backlash from the male-dominated fan base, which has kept the Star Wars franchise alive since its inception.
Stay on target.
Kennedy said it was terrifying to receive backlash from the male-dominated fan base, which has reacted negatively to recent Star Wars films and TV series promoting female stars, including Daisy Ridley, who played Rey, Super Karen Extraordinaire, in a sequel trilogy, The Force is Woke, The Last Karen,
Daddy, chill.
The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Kennedy. Hedlund responded to criticism, telling The Hollywood Reporter last week that she didn't think The Acolyte was queer with a capital Q.
Q!
Disney has drawn criticism in recent years for introducing woke content to appeal to a broader audience. And here we have a tweet, an X-tweet, with a response from Elon Musk mentioned earlier. This from the rabbit hole. Makes sense. Responding to IGN's post about Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy saying that women in Star Wars, such as the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Hedlund, struggle due to a male-dominated fan base. Rabbit hole responds, makes sense. Hard to make something fans like when you hate your fan base. Musk replies, Kathleen Kennedy is super bigoted against men.
You got that right.
So, men being the dominant audience for these type of films, we should all, like idiots, just support them, right? These morons, while they put down men. But they want our money, right? Yeah. Fuck you. Last year, South Park, the animated satire put out by cable channel Comedy Central, righteously mocked Disney and Kennedy and Bob Iger for pandering to audiences by promoting diversity in franchises, including Star Wars and Indiana Jones. In one South Park episode titled Joining the Pandaverse, the show took aim at Kennedy, who was accused of ordering the producers of a franchise project to put a chick in it and to make her lame and gay.
You'd better put a chick in it and make it fucking gay as fuck.
Which, ironically, she winds up doing with The Acolyte. Excuse me as I take a sip of my coffee.
That shit's fucking annoying.
In 2021, Disney fired Gina Carano after a series of social media posts, including one which compared the political climate in the U.S. against conservatives to the period in Nazi Germany. Musk, the Tesla boss, who has been critical of Disney, announced earlier this year that he was backing Carano's lawsuit against the company. And I made a video of this not too long ago covering this subject. Carano, the former MMA star who played Cara Dune in a spin-off, alleged that she was booted from the series because she espoused conservative views. She is asking the court to order Disney's Lucasfilm unit to reinstate her in the role, and seeks compensatory damages of up to $75,000 plus emotional distress and punitive damages to be determined at trial. Oh man, that'd be cool, but reinstate her in the role? That will be really hard. You have to force the writers and insert the character. You could just write her out. Pretty much, they can kill her off or just banishing her character from the series by parking her ass light years away somewhere in a corner. Of course, it could all work out just great, right? And that's a hostile environment against Gina Carano, especially if she wins and forces her character back on the series. There'll be no love lost there, I'll tell you that. Most likely, though, Disney would settle out of court if it goes against them. But I digress. Last year, Musk blasted Disney's CEO, Bob Iger, after his company halted advertisements on his X platform due to the proliferation of so-called hate content, more like due to the leftist bias being jettisoned from the popular social media platform. Go f*** yourself, Musk said when asked his reaction to brands pulling their ads from his site. Musk attempted to clarify the comment last week, saying it was not aimed at all advertisers. You know who you are, Bob. As his social media company tried to woo back companies that have left the site. And with that, we reach the end of this article. But as we are wont to do, when we have the opportunity, we will go over a few reader comments. And first up is Backcountry 164 Undefined with, quote, for introducing woke content to appeal to a broader audience, end quote. These things aren't done to appeal to a broader audience. They're done to appeal to a very specific audience, exactly, a niche. And so they can virtue signal by chastising anyone who isn't and doesn't want to be a part of said audience. Hear, hear. Well said. Instant like. Next up from Drum we have, I don't watch entertainment with the intention of getting fluffed up about politics. So I don't know, no care about the woke stuff. But the more recent Star Wars stuff was just boring. Granted, I was never really into the originals, but I could sit through them. Jason Eagle replies to Drum with, well, your brain is not working. You like being indoctrinated? Shots fired, folks. Next up from Rocky Brown. What it proves is that Disney has not yet learned its lesson. It wants to walk both sides of the line and still take the rubes money. Exactly what I mentioned earlier. It won't work. People are looking carefully at what Disney does. Orange Poor replies, yeah, moviegoers pay to see stuff that interests them, not to get indoctrinated by woke media companies. These people don't understand the business they're in. John Russo also replies, woke is a mental disorder.
Bingo!
You got that right. Here we got a leftist attacking Christianity.
Surprise!
I agree, it's called Christianity.
SF?
They never attacked Muslims, right? Islam, for obvious reasons. Well, it should be obvious. To throw gays off rooftops, to slay your enemies, unless they convert. No, they don't attack that religion, but they attack Christianity, right?
He ain't lying.
Jenny replies to dumbass, Christianity is about as far from woke as you can be. So that comment makes no sense. Good for you, Jenny. Last but not least, Alan Head says, Disney should stay out of politics, lest they get some backlash and lose more money. It should be lest they get more backlash and lose more money. Because they've been getting backlash. Not that they care. Them fools triple, quadruple down every chance they get. Well, folks, with that, we reach the end of this episode. Feel free to comment and share this video. And if you agree with the article, with Elon Musk, these tweets, with the majority of the reader comments and mine, then hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And for shame if you haven't. And use your force powers on that notification bell if you want to be forewarned whenever I'm ready to drop another video. And as always, stay safe and I bid you peace.